right. Education system says, what I gave y'all were student loans, not student, I'll pay you back when I can. When you get that return me my money, true or false. A woman with a high body count is worse off than a man with a high body count. Okay, we can ask that. All right, so we'll start on the couch. What is worse, a woman with a high body count or a man with a high body count?
A woman with a high body count, for sure.
Okay, what about you, Miss Australia?
Same thing. Obvious. I can elaborate if you need, but I think we all know.
Okay, I'll run through the table first, and then maybe we can elaborate if we got time. What about you? What's worse, a man with a high body count or a woman with a high body count?
Neither is wrong.
Well, it's not about which one is wrong. It's about which one you think is more detrimental to the relationship.
If you had to choose one, which gender do you think it would be? If you had to choose.
I feel like neither is detrimental. I'm not trying to be passive aggressive, but like actually, like I don't think that's detrimental personally for me as an opinion rather than a fact.
If you had to pick one,
I wouldn't.
All right, that's fair.
But if you have to pick one,
do I have to?
Yes, that's why I said you have to pick one.
Next person.
She doesn't have to. I don't think so.
Right.
Just for the argument's sake.
Like
I'm not trying to be difficult, but like actually, like I just would like I don't think it's detrimental. Like not me trolling, not me being like I just don't think that, and so therefore I wouldn't pick one on being pressed by someone to tell me to pick one because I'd be lying either or. So I just like wouldn't do that.
So it's 50-50 down the middle.
No, I think it's 0-0 down the canyon, bro. Like I don't know. I just
So you don't think someone's body count has any type of
no, I don't think it's detrimental.
So you don't think that it has any reflection on themselves? their
Not
character,
even a little
nothing
bit.
like
No, I think that we all go through things, and
so we fuck because we go through things.
I mean, some do and some fuck because they want to, and some fuck for money, and some fuck for other
I think
reasons.
it varies between people.
I don't think
I
it's an
agree with both of
issue.
y'all. I'm just saying, as me being a rapper guy, I just met people with so many different perspectives, and sometimes you meet girls who have body counts who got raped.
That's true.
Right, and that's facts. So,
but that's just hypothetically speaking.
I mean, that's not hypothetical though, because it's 1 out of 3.
I like
is,
saying
like, the
hypothetical
statistic.
because I don't want to bring nobody past to
feel
the
you.
present day of life because you're supposed to be moving forward, not looking back.
I feel you.
I'm
That's
sorry for butting.
100. There's so many different like circumstances which will influence your sexual activity and the way you choose to show yourself to the world. But ultimately, the question is, which one has the ultimate detrimental effect, a man or a female with a high body count? And ultimately, it's going to be a
Definitely.
female in most instances.
And the answer
You know
that I
every
have to
female
that
in this world
question
to
is
know that?
neither.
She's basically saying it varies from person to person. Like
Right,
it's just like
exactly.
that.
But on a balance of probabilities, who does it affect more negatively? But that's fine.
I'm
if you wanna,
basically saying is it doesn't
it's
matter.
fine. We're gonna move on.
Thank
We're gonna move
you.
on. What about you? Who does it affect more negatively, the male or the female?
Based on society, I know we're changing, especially with like how OnlyFans has come to the top. I feel it's more detrimental for a woman to have a higher body count, but it
Okay.
doesn't mean it's a negative thing. I think it's just how our society is looking towards women and how they're supposed to act. We're put in a box. Men have the ability to walk out of that box. Women,
Exactly.
not always. So unfortunately, in my eyes, I don't think it's detrimental, but in society's eyes, probably.
Do you think the reason why it's detrimental in society's eyes is because it's rooted in some biological fact?
I think it's based in the fact that religion was very, very prominent back in the day. And I mean, people still, are very close to the Bible, but it also taught women to be straight with their mans and then men can do whatever they want type thing.
But how about this? How can you explain people from generations from different parts of the world, whether it was Asians, right, Chinese people from the Ming Dynasty, or South Americans, or people from Native American cultures, whatever, none of them accepted female promiscuity? What are the chances of that? And this is before religion.
I mean, I think
Think
it
about
goes
that.
back.
People that have never met each other from different walks of life, different cultures, different religions, different ways of viewing the world, different parts of the world, living in different conditions, all of them came to the same agreement about female promiscuity. How is that?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know
It's because it's rooted in some biological fact is the point.
What's
And
the
then there's
fact?
evolution.
What's the fact?
What's the biological
We'll get to that here in a
fact?
second. I just want to see what the ladies think here on the panel. What about you? Who do you think it affects more, men or women?
What was your name?
Patty.
I think Patty made a great point. I wanted to agree with Jen's original point that at the end of the day, every single person on this world is different. So it really shouldn't matter. But Patty made a great point that it really does matter more if you're a woman, and you are definitely going to get more
Hate.
and consequences for having a higher body count just because you're a woman and you're put in a box, just like Patty said.
Would it be fair to say?
I would say that if it's one person or another, it really doesn't matter, and it makes no difference, and every single person is different.
Do you agree with the concept that with great power comes great responsibility?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that a woman's sexuality is her greatest power?
I think every woman has a great power that is different than the other.
Okay. In the real world, okay, would it be fair to say that a woman's sexuality is her main agency and her main power?
I will reiterate what I just said. A woman's great power is whatever she decides her great power is. Everybody is different.
Okay. Well, let's go here objectively versus subjectively. A woman's greatest power is her sexuality. There's a reason why the makeup industry exists, billion-dollar industry. There's a reason why women spend more
What
on
does
clothing.
makeup have to do with sex?
Because she's expressing herself through her looks to be more attractive to attract the opposite gender.
There are many
Y'all
non-women
remember
who
my
make makeup.
definition last time I was on here? Literally, the reason why makeup was invented was to replicate the way a woman looks when she's aroused, because your pupils get dilated, your lips get blush, your teeth get blush. That's why makeup was literally invented to replicate those features that a woman has when she's aroused, because that is what is more desirable to a man.
That was
We are in 2023.
I strongly disagree. I think makeup is to enhance a woman's natural, beautiful features.
Okay, but why do women
Makeup
enhance
is
their beauty?
many
Let's
different
go
reasons
all
for
the way
makeup.
back.
But I'm saying makeup, not no fillers and all that shit. I'm saying makeup.
Why do women go through the painstaking process of doing BBLs, hair, nails, clothing,
Not everybody's
makeup?
And why do men
good
get
body.
hairline transfers?
Why do they get that?
It's to be attractive to the opposite gender, but you're taking away from the point. What I'm trying to say is that women enhance their beauty to be attractive to the opposite gender is my point, which is for their sexuality.
And that would
That is their
also
main
mean
agency.
that men enhance their financial position and whatever else men do to
Yes.
be for the
The
other sex
difference
to be
is that
attracted.
I'm not sitting here lying saying, oh yeah, well, guys just do it for their own
Those are
feelings.
stereotypes, and
Like-
there's
But-
not like not everybody in this world is going to fit those stereotypes. So
Why
it's
can't
not
women
absolute.
put on makeup just because they want to put on makeup? Just
To
because
feel
they
good?
feel like waking up today and putting on makeup just to look good for themselves? Why does it have to be for
Because
the
that's a
opposite
lie.
gender?
Women don't go to
Exactly.
sleep with their makeup on, and they don't go to sleep with their
I
high heels
mean-
on and their tight dresses on. They don't go to sleep when
That's
they're fun.
But-
They put it on.
and you break
They put it
out.
on to go outside to be attractive to the opposite gender and
No,
compete with
they
other
put
women.
it on
So
where
it's
everyone
really
wants
not
to
every
be.
woman
Yes.
is one
Well,
Again,
opposite
a
gender.
chance natural features.
Can
That
I
was
say
it.
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't want to yell over everybody. I feel like as women, as we were growing up, we were always taught to present our best selves.
Mhm.
And I feel as though that carries on to our adulthood, where we always want to dress nice. We always want to look our very best, whether that is for a man, for a job, like you dress
For
different for
ourselves.
different
Occasions.
scenarios for ourselves. We're building our confidence up for different situations. It can be for the male gaze, but it's also for
others.
ourselves. So I feel like that's factual. I don't feel like that's like an opinion. You know what I mean?
I agree with what you're saying to a large degree, but at the end of the day, it comes up to the reasons why we're doing this. And I agree that oftentimes women don't realize why they're doing the things that they do, because they're ingrained and they're programmed in us from literally the time that we're a child.
No,
I
but
disagree.
my
Literally,
point
I
that's
disagree
exactly what they're saying.
100%.
They're talking
I disagree
about
100%.
a woman's
I
ultimate
disagree.
value they say is their sexuality, and the reason being is because that's
I
what
was not taught
culture,
that.
society, our social groups distill in women and praise that as the ultimatum of what you can be as a woman.
I'm
And
not
that
going
is
to
evident.
argue with
That's
you.
evident in society. That's
I'm not
evident in
gonna
media.
yell.
That is
Yeah.
evident literally everywhere in society. And so I'm not saying it's a negative. I'm not saying it to put women down. I'm saying this is ingrained in us from a very, very young age. And unless you become aware of these psychological factors and these influences that are causing you to even think that way in the first place, then how can you even be here having a logical conversation with these guys about this when ultimately what they're talking about is mostly things that are affecting us on a subconscious level and have been since we were little girls.
Damn, Don DeMarco.
Yeah,
I
man.
agree and disagree because you made valid points on that it's implanted in our minds. However, I disagree on the fact that you said we don't know what we're doing, because I believe that women are very strategic in whatever we do, whatever our plan is, how we dress, how we present ourselves in different situations. We know exactly what we're doing.
And that
Exactly.
plan
know
is
exactly
influenced
how
by
we look.
what? And by whom?
I mean, you guys are agreeing. You guys are agreeing on the overall concept that women understand that their beauty is their primary agency, which is what the only thing I was trying to say anyway. So, all right. So you're saying it doesn't matter, is what you said, as far as like female with a higher body count or a male with a higher body count.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Talking to Mike, please.
Right.
Okay. So you can't pick one if you had to pick one of the two, or no? You said female.
I will not pick one. No.
Well, you said
no.
female.
No. I agreed with Patty's point.
And she
but
said
at the end of the day, it's like subjectively speaking, it does not matter.
It actually does matter, and we'll talk about that. What about you? Who do you think it matters more for?
I feel like it does matter more for the female.
Okay.
I feel like in high school for me, I was always called like prude.
Okay.
And like I wouldn't even be invited to parties or anything because I knew like I wouldn't do anything. But I feel like the men put that on us, like to be sexy and to be sexual, and you're kind of pushed towards that.
Okay.
More guys have higher body counts than girls, 100%. But guys tend to judge women way
That's debatable,
more.
actually.
No, it's
no,
not.
it is not.
Really?
No, it's not.
He's gonna say that because the women are gatekeepers.
And we got a box that we got to stay in.
But also, men do lie about their body counts to make it like
150%.
But
Are you aware that 1 in 3 men right now between 18 to 30 is either a virgin or hasn't had sex in a year?
Like 1 in 3 men that are here in this room.
There's a new article that came out.